the opportunity that I could share my screen, share it on the LinkedIn, share it on resume, share it on Indeed, share it on various types of things. And I can also ask you to share your screen as to what's holding you up, what's the issue, what's the situation, so that we can unclog that obstacle from that standpoint.
I'm going to tackle the internal part of networking. Networking is having conversations and extending interest in other people and being curious. I think the best way to network is to show up and get involved in your company. Familiarity is important. When we know somebody, we feel comfortable recommending them and having conversations. So is there an area that you could participate in? There's special interest groups. Is there something you could start and just to raise your visibility in the organization? I think that is the best way to start networking. It's investing over the long term and giving, basically. A lot of times, Ron is a great example of a network. He's the most generous person, most energetic person, because he's always making connections. He's always asking questions. He's always thinking about conversations he's had and connecting. And I think that's the beauty of networking. So think about what you could get excited about, whether it's mentoring other people in the organization, helping with interns, but get visible and get active in the organization.
Advanced level, and then I can go and dialogue with Bard back and forth in many different levels and directions in that. All right. I could ask another question is, what companies hire, customer success management? I don't know, but I could ask. Right? Industry, software, SaaS. Are you familiar with that? Technology, financial. So now in thinking of it, I'm saying, ooh, healthcare. Who do I know in LinkedIn level 1, level 2 on LinkedIn that's in financial services, that is in healthcare, that's in technology with those words? Now you're starting to cook. Now you got hope. Now you're saying, and then the beauty of LinkedIn is that it's either someone you know, level 1, or someone that your friends know, level 2. Then the beauty is, how do you make that introduction? How do you make that ask, right? And that's all part of, stuff that we can cover on a Monday basis. So, yeah. So
you don't have a choice. You are given humans and you are told to work with them. What you do with that talent is really on you, and collaborate. There'll be some challenges. It's like somebody who's going into coach an athletic team. You work with the skills you have, and slowly but surely you become the person that people want to work with. And when you get promoted, they will raise their hand to apply for your jobs, etc. So slow. So a lot of when you're having those headaches and thinking this is not going smoothly, there's a lesson there. Slowly but surely you're gonna, and you just give that sense of confidence when you're talking, that we learn by our mistakes and our challenges, but it's how we react in those situations that's going to make a difference. Keep our mood together and do the right thing, and you'll move forward. I have some great faith.
Yeah. Thank you. And you'll be surprised in LinkedIn, the groups. Do a search by the groups, that the area of your interest and passion, and be surprised how many groups are out there. Now, some groups may be 2 or 3 individuals. For some group, tens of thousands. From that standpoint. Endorsements is when there's a skill set that they have and you endorse their skill, which is very nice. What I typically recommend is the recommendation, which is that an individual will actually write words about the individual, and it's a little bit more robust there. So if you look at my profile, you'll see that there are hundreds of recommendations, but always remember, it's not like I'm looking for, look at me with 400 or whatever recommendations. I'm running an enterprise. I'm running Rod Cologne Enterprises. And what business don't you know if that is not interested in recommendations or information about their success in that? So that's important. And I look at that as critically important. And so the individuals that you're working with and connecting, worked in the past, professors, please ask them for recommendations. And the way you could actually specifically do it is in the recommendation section is ask specifically for what you want them to recommend you on, which is there, which is great.
Having recruited for a long time and then coach, there are things in your background that will be a great benefit. First, the discipline of what you had to learn, the specifics, the amount of detail. And now you've had to have good people skills working with different teams, etc. And I think what you have to work on is just giving good examples. Now, if you've done any kind of volunteer work or any even helping family members, you can always work that into the conversation and using examples. But when we have a candidate in front of us and somebody is genuinely interested and is showing where they're trying different things, that sticks with me. I've always thought that's a person to worth paying attention and figure out how you can give them an opportunity. So I think work with somebody, make some lists of what you've done, your successes, and then do what we all do, start having conversations. But I think you're on the right path. You've identified something you're very interested in, which is really important. I want to just use you as an example because you had a little bit of, you have some sense about which direction. You're not sure exactly what lane it is, but it's okay to tell people when you're gathering information, I'm doing research. I have a couple of buckets. When you're asking somebody for a job, that shuts the listening down. So just saying, I'm doing some homework. And just open the door, the fact that you're a newbie. Show, and one person gave me this valuable tip years and years ago. Do what Rod is saying, do enough homework that you go in as an educated interviewer and questioning. So you have a few questions you can ask and then relax and have a conversation. And Rod has his Bard, but you're going to do the same thing with humans as well as ChatGPT. But enjoy and respect the process. And
Yeah.
then always just play it back and follow up what you took that information saying you set me on a path of brainstorming. I went in a different direction, but your questions always made a big difference. So thank you. And that's what we all. It's like an
Yeah.
unfinished book. We like when we fall asleep during a movie. You're like, what happened? Come back and
Yeah.
tell us because we really do get excited about networking.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is great. And that's the beauty of it, that every individual is going to work the tools that work for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I do and what I coach and what I work and what Julian does, and they're all differences. That's the beauty of different coaches and different guides and different. That's the beauty of networking and getting to see it from other perspectives, which is great. Do this yourself, right? You can always use me as the artillery, kind of the second round, the second wave of support in networking. But you have access to all of this yourself. And then if you don't have anybody, then you come to, Uncle Rod here and, Theo Rod, and, we'll help you out. But these individuals, but it's important, and I've been speaking with a lot of individuals about this, please audit your network. Please audit your level ones on LinkedIn so that when you need them, they're there for you. But if you connected with them 10 years ago and you haven't reached out to them at all, I don't have to worry about you reaching out to them. I just know you're not going to reach out to them. That's just standard. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that all of these level ones you stay connected with. Now, you don't need thousands. I mean, this is my life. This is what I do, and people connect with me. But social scientists say that you can have about 200 relationships at one given time. So I'm saying is shoot for 200 individuals on LinkedIn, level ones, who have your back and you have their back. What I do and what Julian does, we're passionate about what we do. And, we're up at 10 o'clock here and in the East Coast, and we love what we do, and it's not always about the fee. It's about really empowering individuals to be great, because the greatness in all of you, will help the network in the future. And I got 5 grandkids and 2 on the way, and many of you will be opening doors for them. And that's the way that I look at it. So, Julienne, thank you so much for being with us, our first guest host on the Zoom prize, and really
Oh, thank
appreciate it. And
you.
you got, I got your back, and I know you have my back, and I appreciate whatever I can do. And you let me know.
Yes, and just believe in yourselves to know the best stories are inside of you. We just need to teach ourselves how to let them out and embrace the best work you can do. So all the
Yeah,
best, everybody.
absolutely. So, wow, wow, wow. That was an incredible hour. We've tackled everything that we could think of. We didn't get into salary negotiations or a couple other things, but remember, owning your career is a continuous journey, and we're here to support you every step of the way. Welcome back next week at 9 o'clock. We'll be at it. They'll register for a different thing. We'll have postings on it, and this information will be shared. Our producer, and let me thank my producer, Alicia Ramos, behind the scenes, who puts this all together, and we'll be sharing within LinkedIn some snippets of this session as well. God bless you all. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye. Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much.
Thanks.